Okay, guys. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the, um, the model of reading a file, how HDFS uh, works in order to support file reading. Okay, here's the textbook. Before we dive into the data flow, okay. I draw this chart try to show you the physical layout or physical model of HDFS file reading and including writing. When we talk about HDFS, the distributed file system, I hope everybody imagine that in front of you there is a Hadoop HDFS cluster. Okay? That means there's a hundreds computers, they're all connected, and together they form a HDFS file system. Now we have access to, we can use it to save file, to read file, download, upload. Okay. So what are the parts? If you look at what we're talking about, I was talking about the multiple machines. Physically, you see hundreds of machines. Those will be inside this box, the Hadoop HDFS system. There's two types of node, like we explained before, name node versus data node. Within the hundreds of machines in front of you, there's one of them, it's called a name node. Okay, and all the rest are data node. And all together, they're working together, they form a HDFS file system. In this chart, it shows the name node is a commander, okay? And the data node are listening to the command from name node. And all the data node are also interconnected because they need to have some time copy file directly making changes, there's other type of operations. But this is how HDFS is formed. And when this HDFS system is ready, through a network, it provides a client application. Okay, and the client computer represents you or me. Okay, the user who is going to use HDFS. The user want to use the HDFS must have a Hadoop client application. Through this client application, the computer, the end user either upload file or download file through this app. And this app going to communicate to HDFS. Okay, so like the app is a middle agent, the middleman. Okay? The app understands command from user and then translate the command into HDFS language and let HDFS do the rest of the work. So this is the physical layout. So let's see. What's the logical workflow? Okay, when a user wants to read a file from existing file system. So we basically focus on this chart or diagram. This is HDFS client, which is your personal PC or what kind of computer, whatever computer you're using, as long as there's a client application, okay, then you can interact with the Hadoop system. The client node, this box right here represents this part, okay, this part. Over a network, you can access the HDFS system. And the rest parts, name node and several data node represents the Hadoop HDFS system, okay? So when a client want to download or read a file, this is what's gonna happen. The client first step, interact with this client application, which represents the client app, and say, I want to open file ABC, for example. And the client will translate that open command and assign the command to this HDFS file system, which is represented as step 2. That means the command will be sent to a name node, and name node say, oh, you want to access file ABC, and I know everything because name node in charge of everything. So name node look up his own registration table and find out where are the blocks, okay, how many splits there are details, but in general, name node gonna find out where is this file located. When we say where is this file located, we could mean multiple computers, because when the file was saved to this cluster, very possibly the file has been split into several parts, and each part has been saved in different computers. So name node find out, okay, your file ABC has been saved into this data node and this data node, okay? And then it send back, say, hey, use this interface FS data input stream to access this data on this net, then you got what you want. Okay? And then read, and then close. This is a very general procedure about reading a file. Okay. I'm gonna skip this implementations. These 2 points need to be mentioned. Not read all data node at once. What it says is that here, again, the reason we use HDFS or Hadoop in general is that we want to handle super large file. When the application comes in, try to analyze the super large file, you may not able to process all data all at once. So very possibly your application is gonna handle the data piece by piece. So when you read a file, application read a file, you may read, well, first part and process it, and then read the second part, process it. What it says here is that very typical HDFS reading operation is like part by part. It's not always read the whole thing. Okay. Second, directly access. That means at the beginning, when you access, when you want to download a file, you ask name node for location information. After you get those information, the application is going to directly access the data node for operations. Okay. All right, it's about downloading the file.